Now, you all know that you're open your eyes and seeing the world of your assumptions and biases. The problem is you don't know what they are, and they block your perception. So here I'm going to give you an example. It's a creativity test. What you have to do is you have to take these objects and you have to pin the candle on the wall using only these objects, and the pins cannot fit through the candle. And it's an actually simple creative problem. The problem is there's an assumption and bias that is blocking you that you're not aware of. Can anyone solve it? There's the solution. Now, the assumption that you had was that that's a box, not a shelf. If you present people with the tacks outside the box, people more readily solve the problem, okay? And here's an example in innovation. So in Britain, where I've been living for the last 25 years, you have a hot tap and you have a cold tap. Why is this? It's a crazy idea, right? You get you're washing your hands, super hot water, you boil them, then you cool them off, you boil them, you cool them off, right? It's a silly idea. Why do we have this, right? So why do we have hot and cold taps in houses still? Well, once upon a time, right, your hot water tank was a bathtub that was in your loft, that was open to the elements. So you get mouse droppings, dust in there. It was dangerous to drink the hot water. So you would drink from the cold water and then not drink from the hot water. It made sense, but we no longer have bathtubs in our loft. And yet we still have this design. Why? Because we had it before. No one thought to ask the question, why are we still doing this? Right? Which is the power of diversity of experience. Experience gives you the ability to actually see differently, which is the power of the diversity of people. So if you give me two groups, one group is a lower average IQ from a diverse background, and another group is a higher average IQ from the same background, I want the first group. Why? Two reasons. We know from complex systems theory that the best solutions are most likely to exist in a complex search space. If you have a diverse group of people, you complexify your search space. The other reason is because the best person to reveal your bias and assumptions to you is usually not you. It's usually someone else, because yours are blind to you. So in the right environment, which we can talk to about leadership, when you're with a diverse group of people, you reveal your bias and assumptions to each other, which is why we actually combine in my own group, and we advocate in other groups for innovation, to combine experts with naive. Why? Because experts are brilliant at being efficient, but they're crap at asking a good question because they know what they're not supposed to ask. Whereas people who are naive, as opposed to ignorant, they ask brilliant questions, but they don't know they're good questions. What's amazing about an expert with an open mind is he or she can recognize a good question when asked, but they can't ask it. So it makes a great combination. And you can actually be expert and naive in your own brain. You can actually move along this continuum. Okay? You can create groups this way as well. Okay? And we focus a great deal on diversity. Diversity is essential. But what we often forget is that we have to integrate across that diversity. And that's where you get a resilient, adaptable system.